Tonight, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storm. In this one, I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks down to get 6'5".
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big play there on the screen pass. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of place, and then there's a lot of room to maneuver for your running back.
That's because all the defenders, or I should say the bulk of the defenders, were chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake. Got the screen out there, turned into a large gain.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. That really sets them back. A loss of 6. 2nd and 16. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up in a 3rd and 12 situation. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big
time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run on first down. Pickett. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. 2nd and 9. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll look to throw here. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Butker's kick here is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. From midfield, here's Locke being chased out left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught inside the 5. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Locke now to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Going up top for Kupp. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Finding some room at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. Back to throw again. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be taken at the 13. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And got his man complete. And he goes diving to get as much as he can following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. A big play there on the catch and run.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's Locke to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff, but, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 1. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Now it's Carson. And some space here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They run it with Carson. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Block off of play action. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Henry Ruggs, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. James Robinson, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Rolling to his right. Able to shake him off. And he's going to go down. Back in his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Deron Payne able to record his 5th sack of the season.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Thank goodness. That means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. He'll try again. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Now he's into the clear.
Get off the field.
He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 29, 2 short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. Touchdown, LA! Pat Fryermuth, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Bunker on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On first down, Locke. He finds his man, complete. That's Hodges. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now,
and the Rams got him. They bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon on, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go too.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, LA! It's the fullback. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Rams are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud.
You did.
My bad.
This taken in at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's Locke back near his goal line. He'll buy some time right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they can use something here on third down. Sliding out. Drew Lock taken down in the end zone. 2 points for the defense. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The Rams on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jordan Brooks able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. 2 straight sacks have him backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks will take over here at their own 14-yard line. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. After the turnover, here's Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they...
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Forced out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking his... Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. And a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are going to jump back in front. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to...
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. So all eyes on this Rams offense. Down 31-27, a little over 40 seconds to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game.
Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
That's what he
and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. So now the story changes. Trailing in this one now. And time, a huge factor. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. That's to Freiermuth. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Carroll. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he gets it down to the 32. So the victory here for Seattle. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution. A week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Seahawks, they continue their winning ways as they run their mark to 15-1 on the year. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Los Angeles.